What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Teach Henley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Teach Henley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people when I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Teach Henley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Teach Henley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What's up, family? How y'all feeling today? It is Monday, first days of February 2nd, 2026. It is a phenomenal day. I am here over in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I have a flight to catch shortly after this live stream. So we're going to be efficient today. We're going to be focused today. I got to make sure that the show is prepared for the night. So we do have some housekeeping that we have to do. But before we do any housekeeping, I want to acknowledge a couple of different people before we get started with the show. Shout out to my dog, Mike That Dude. I appreciate you, Mike That Dude. Spencer Campbell on Cash App. I also want to show Spencer Campbell some love on Cash App. Thank you for holding me down, Spence. And then let me see what the first super chat is saying. Working about to lose it on AI truck Cam 71 and 70. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. Don't do a 71 and a 70. Do a 69 and a 70. You know what I'm saying? You saw the NBA reserves. They snubbed Kawhi. Man, ain't nobody thinking about Kawhi. Who cares? I think that in order for Kawhi to make another All-Star team, he needs to play 2 to 3 years doing at least 75 games before we can nominate him into an All-Star game. Nobody, man, listen. Nobody cares. We're not tripping about Kawhi. Who cares? So he having one season. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to your barber, keeping you dapper. Shout out to the barber. Keisha Holloman says, hey, handsome. What up, Keisha? Nah. We not tripping off of no Kawhi. What's up, Ava? What's up, Keita? What's up, Trill Mercy, Will Nola, Treese, Azriel, Purple Haze, Lock on Wood, says AD. Did you watch the Shakur Stevenson fight? I didn't. I got to admit to you that I did not. I have been in Tulsa for my daughter's Taekwondo competition. I'm convinced, man. Honestly, I'm convinced. I'm convinced that most people are idiots in real life. Real life idiots. I am convinced. I'm not going to give y'all no examples. I'm not going to talk about it. I don't want to get into it because I don't feel like going off on a rant because I know that I got to catch a flight. right after the show. So honestly, I believe that most people are idiots. Real talk. Most people can't read, can't comprehend well, none of that stuff. So, we got to take that out with a grain of salt. Let me see what else. TS Car Wash. Kawhi hate is crazy, big dog. Oh, I don't hate him. I think he's a great player. I just don't think he deserves to have an All Star nod. TS Car Wash and Detail Services. Kanye sold out a 40,000 arena in Mexico. Good for him. Good for him. I've seen that. We got to talk about the Grammys and Nicki Minaj today, Time. All right, I'll get into it. And you speak on Trump coming to Springfield. We must move forward. Facts, folks, don't read. It's sickening. 80, you got to go to Black Wall Street and get a burger from Big Bear. Listen, I'm going to come back to Tulsa, but when it gets warm outside, because it ain't no point in coming to Tulsa when it's cold outside. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for business, and I ain't got no time for none of this other foolishness because it's freezing. But I am in a dope hotel. Met a lot of cool people at the hotel that I'm in. So shout out to the hotel. They treated me very, 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 very well here. All right, y'all. Y'all ready to get into the show? Let's get into it. All right. So let me see what I want to cover today. Well, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. So first of all, tonight will be the officially the last night for Q's show on Monday. All right. Monday is going to change into something different. Probably gonna got a new show. I kind of gave y'all a preview of what the new show is that I'm working on. But I need to get back into the studio so that I can make sure I take care of it. And Q is going to, I believe, be moving to Wednesdays. So now we're going to have a Wednesday show, right? We're removing one and we're adding two. So Mondays is going to be something completely different. I'm going to reveal that later on in the week, all of the details of it. And and Wednesdays, we're now going to be moving that over to the Wednesday show. All right. So shout out to everybody in the chat. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to see y'all on Monday night tonight on the panel. Me, Q, Shampoo, same old, same old. We going to get there. Read a couple more super chats and then we're going to deep dive into it. I heard Detroit added over 500 million in housing value. Veto Royale. What that means is they are trying to raise the property taxes in order to generate more revenue in the city for more of the liberal things that we're trying to do. So one of the things is capped. So the Michigan Constitution prevents you from raising a property taxes by a certain amount, but then when you sell a house, you get reassessed at the new value. And so it's a bunch of finessing going on, but I ain't gonna deep dive into that. Whenever you see they say, oh man, they raise a bunch of money in property values. That's just they're trying to raise a bunch of more revenue in property taxes. Spaces says, found out Saturday I got a promotion at work to where I will now be traveling around the U.S. doing what I do now. It's really up from here. Shout out to the bag chasers. Hey, congratulations, Spaces. And let me say this: if y'all are not a part of the Patreon, the best time to join the Patreon is the beginning of the month. I just dropped the video yesterday, or was it the day before yesterday? I dropped the video. We're gonna do Block Club on Wednesday. Because my schedule is all turned around. I gotta go do an interview out in another city. I don't want to tell y'all about that yet. So that's gonna come out soon. But I did drop a new video in the Patreon. Plus, we did the Stock Club, so you need to watch Stock Club. And we got Block Club coming up this week, and then Stock Club right after that. So it's absolutely awesome. Dream Big says, my coworkers found my channel due to a video going viral. They then started to hate and share my channel to everyone at work, causing drama, forcing me to highlight all of my videos. What's the best way to stay motivated for my new channel that can no longer be related with my job? All right, so I got a question for you. What is your channel about? What is your channel about? Because listen, the only time that is bad for you to have a channel, as far as people sharing it at work and stuff, is if you are saying or having conversations about things that are controversial. All right. One of the reasons why you see my channel, and outside of trying to protect my wife and my daughter, I leave my channel out of it, right? One of the reasons why you see my channel so cookie cutter in the beginning is because I didn't want to give out my information. I didn't want things to affect what it is that I had going on in corporate America. I was making a lot of money in corporate America. And so until I retired in 2019 from corporate America, that's when I really started giving you my thoughts and my opinion. But if y'all are jumping out the window being super controversial and thinking that it's not going to affect what you got going on at your job, you have another thing coming. So if you can't, this is my rule of thumb. If you can't record it and still leave it up without it being affecting your job, then you probably shouldn't be talking about it. Or you probably need to take a different approach or start having different conversations. But if what you're doing online and you are not making a significant amount of money that can basically replace what it is that you're doing on your job, if what you're doing online does not align with or get you in trouble at your job, then you should stop doing it. That's my rule of thumb. Okay. You said you're doing garbage trucks, man. Why do you care what they think then? Why do you care what they think? I wouldn't care if it's just a garbage truck. Then I wouldn't care. How can it affect? See, I was in corporate America and I was moving up in corporate America, so it's much different, much different thing. All right, but be careful, bro. Like, if you think that it's going to affect if you got to mute all of your videos, then you're probably saying something crazy. All right. Couple more. Shout out to you and thank you for the 100 ball, bro. TS Car Wash and Detail Service says that D'Angelo and Roberto Flack tribute was dope. Y'all still hold on. Y'all still watch the Grammys? I can't believe y'all still actually watch the Grammys, bro. Y'all watch the Grammys?
Nicki Minaj is not here. She is not here.
Trevor Noah is back at it. On Sunday, February 1st, the comedian hosted the 68th Annual Grammy Awards for the sixth and final time. During his monologue, the 41-year-old cracked jokes as he interacted with the A-list crowd, which included Justin Bieber, Doechii, Bad Bunny, John Legend, and Olivia Dean. As he made his way through the room, the former Daily Show host took a swipe at Jeff Bezos' wedding guest list.
I mean, we've got royalty in the house. Queen Latifah, Your Majesty. So good to see you. As always, look at, man, we got the legendary Jamie Foxx, Grammy winner, Oscar winner, huh? The man who owes me a pickleball rematch. I see you. Congrats on the new song, by the way. Congrats on this. He's back in the mix. There's so many stars in this room. I feel like I'm at Jeff Bezos' wedding, but with way more black people. You know what I mean?
Like, honestly, look at this photo right here. Look at this photo right here. Or this still shot. Let me ask y'all a question. As people that are a lot more, what's the word that I'm looking for? Grown up. Like, you know, we not children. Like, we're not in a space where, you remember when they used to have the posters and the girls, whenever you would look at your little female cousins or the girls, and they would have B2K and the Marion and all of that, or the Word Up posters or whatever. Am I a little too old? Am I saying my age too much? I remember back in the day, and they used to have the posters on the wall, right? Even the guys, you know, you get the Lil Kim poster that was up on your wall. That might be a little too before your time also. Why do we worship celebrities? That's what I'm trying to understand. Not me, maybe not you, but us as a culture. Why do we watch the Grammys? You remember Bob Brown? Why do we watch the Grammys? Why do we care about their political opinions? We really need to only look at these people for entertainment only. They weirdos. They all on Ozempic. They all got HIV and AIDS. These people like little kids. These people are demonic, bro. Honestly, they weird. They're weird. I care more about my own family and what my own bag chasers think. Like all weekend, I'm cooking up, I'm editing videos outside of spending time with my family and my daughter and my wife and stuff like that. All weekend here in Tulsa, I got stuck in the airport for like 8 hours because I had to reroute my flights and stuff like that. But why do we care about what? Listen, I get it when it comes to like them making a good movie or making some good music. But if you look at them, they're all soulless. They're all weird. They're all faces sunk in. Like they're just regular people that just so happen to be weirdos and they're promoted by a machine. And so we need to start focusing more on separating the two, like being objective enough because this fandom weirdo shit is just crazy to me. We got to separate, um, from the people that's actually doing something meaningful in society from the people that are just giving talking points. They got handlers, they got PR people and all of that stuff, and all of them is just trying to stay relevant. Most of these people that's in the audience is actually broke. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why do we? And they not even the ones that's making the money from the art that they doing it. It's the people that is behind the scenes. All they are is a storefront. They the brick facade. They're the ones. Most of these people are the ones that's being pushed in front of you. They don't really have no real substance behind them. I'm keeping it 100 with you.
Speaking to Justin Bieber, the comedian poked fun at how the singer previously expressed his frustration over the iPhone's new features, and even gave a shout out to his wife, Hailey Bieber, over her viral road products.
4 Grammy nominations, and I think better than any Grammy, he's come back as a new dad. Congratulations to both of you. Yes, that's right, yeah. My personal favorite thing that Justin Bieber has done over the past year is he told Apple to move the dictation button on the keyboard. Hero, Justin. Now I just need you to tell them to make a new feature where when you search on your phone, it finds things. Please, Justin, we need you. And by the way, Hailey, do you have a discount code for the lip tint? I just need, you know what, it's fine. We'll talk later.
Later, Trevor threw shade at Nicki Minaj after the rapper aligned herself with and defended President Donald Trump, as he noted that she wasn't in attendance leading.
Look at the weirdos. Look at the weirdos, bro. Look at these people. Look at this picture. Look at this picture. This is nothing but weirdos. Y'all would want to actually hang out with these people? Who are all of the people in the background? Who are all of the people in the background?
Crowd to erupt into cheers.
Nicki Minaj is not here. She is not here. She is.
Look at the Chrissy Teigen chick. And John Legend.
She is still at the White House with Donald Trump discussing very important issues. Actually, Nikki, I have the biggest ass. I have it. Everybody's saying it, Nikki. I know they say it's you, but it's me. Wop, wop, wop. Look at it. Look at it.
And you know how fake they are? You want me to tell you how fake they are? Is because I guarantee you, the overwhelming majority of the people that are in that audience actually probably voted for Trump, but they can't say it. They can't say it. All of these people, listen, man, look, you don't have any friends in the industry. Remember that. I want y'all to understand it. Some of y'all that are watching this right now, some of y'all, you just in the clouds. I know some of my friends or whatever. You don't have any friends. Everybody and anybody will turn on you depending on what the opportunity is that it presents itself. And all of these people in there, I guarantee you at least half, if not more, actually voted for Trump, but they're afraid to say it. How do I know so? Because I have a lot of friends that are visible, super visible friends. And you know what they say? I don't never want to talk about that in person, though. I'm telling you that most people, stars, people that have resources, they vote for Trump, but they will go out there and shake their ass and twerk it up for a real one on the stage with Kamala Harris for whatever it is that she's paying from y'all donations and campaign money. But they can't say it. They can't, and smartly enough, because you don't want to alienate, you got to sell your product to everybody. So unless you are a person that tends to be a little bit more controversial and your brand is to go against the grain, you can't say openly what you've done because you don't want your fans to alienate you, which in my opinion makes Nicki Minaj's stance even more meaningful, because she's doing it at a time where it seems like it's the least popular amongst her peers and even the people that say that they support her and are her fans. That means that she's the one that's got the balls, and all of these people are just sheep. All of these people, see, listen, I would have more respect for them if they actually stood on what it is that they believed instead of just saying and doing stuff. Ross says, I don't think it's that serious. I watched for the D'Angelo tribute. It's just entertainment. Everything doesn't have to be political. And I think that that's dope, Ross. And I think that if that's the reason that you watched it, that's cool. I have no problem with people watching things for entertainment purposes. My problem comes in when people start looking to entertainers for their talking points and for advice for how it is that they should run their families. Because these people don't give a fuck about us, is what I'm saying. If you're able to separate the two, I think that that is awesome. But most people can't. That's the problem. Most people can't. If all we heard was, we're just ordinary people, if that's all we heard, cool. But then we got to get their opinions on what they think about how we should vote and whether or not ICE is it and all of this stuff. I don't want to hear that. I am not interested in hearing what their political perspective is or opinions are, because it doesn't mean anything. Honestly. Let me see. Give me a second. Let me see if I can figure it out. Come to OKC, Anton. Most people can't think for themselves.
What the hell? Okay, I completely blanked on everything before. I need to take a second to thank my mother. Mom, you didn't have to. My mother adopted me. You didn't have to.
Look, she got that. Look. Y'all don't see it? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying is why. Why do we always got to get
You didn't have to give up your life for me. You could have done whatever you wanted in your 20s, but instead you chose to take care of me. Everything. I love you. I love you so much. Thank you to the same people that I thanked before, but ultimately I think everyone up here, it really means a lot to us because we're family. So I'm really honored to win this with you guys. I love all you guys so much. I can't believe this, y'all. I gotta take a shot out this motherfucker. Let's get it!
Yeah. I mean, shout out to her. Congratulations for her winning her Grammy, but I just think that it's silly for us to see, continue to look to celebrities. Like, what makes them more knowledgeable than us because they can sing a song and hold a note? What makes them better ambassadors for our family and what's best for America than us? What makes them any good at all? That's all I'm saying. So, anyways, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Best time to join the Patreon is the beginning of the month. So this is literally the best day to join the Patreon. Let me figure something. I want to give a shout out to my dog, Mike. That dude says respectfully court gestures, in my opinion. That's a fact. That is a straight up fact. Jay Hunter Lee says, good morning, my brother, man. I didn't even know they still do the Grammys. It seems like it's lost its luster, to be honest with you. I remember the Grammys used to be a big deal. Now the Grammys don't mean anything to me. Like to watch it or anything like that. Oh, this person got Grammys. It seemed like ever since Ye started advocating for himself, and then you start to see behind the curtains of how they picked who won what, it's like, don't really mean anything. 876 Wall says played a full 18 holes as an amateur yesterday and definitely lost more balls than I can count. Hey, Anton, how do you think North Carolina, what does that mean? Charlotte? Do I think that North Carolina and Charlotte is a great city? Eight is forever. Is that what you're saying? I think that North Carolina is cool. I hear Charlotte got some really good things happening out here in these streets from a jobs and an industry perspective. Play Jelly Roll Speed, says Edgar. Nah, I mean, Jelly Roll is cool, but I'm just not really. I'll play Jelly Roll Speech. All right, let me see what Jelly Roll Speech is.
I know they're going to try to kick me off here, so just let me try to get this out. First of all, Jesus, I hear you and I'm listening, Lord. I am listening, Lord. Second of all, I want to thank my beautiful wife. I would have never changed my life without you. I'd have ended up dead or in jail. I'd have killed myself if it wasn't for you and Jesus. I thank you for that. I thank you for my label, Broken Bow, Country Radio, baby. What's up, dog? Oh, Republic, John Manili, we did it, baby. There was a time in my life, y'all, that I was broken. That's why I wrote this album. I didn't think I had a chance, y'all. There was days that I thought the darkest things. I was a horrible human. There was a moment in my life that all I had was a Bible this big and a radio the same size and a 6x8 cell. And I believed that those two things could change my life. I believed that music had the power to change my life and God had the power to change my life. And I want to tell y'all right now, Jesus is for everybody. Jesus is not owned by one political party. Jesus is not owned by no music label. Jesus is Jesus, and anybody can have a relationship with him. I love you, Lord.
Oh, we got to pray for Jelly Roll. We got to pray for Jelly Roll. Listen. Oh man, I'm scared. Listen, I'm praying for Jelly Roll now because you don't get up there and talk like that around them folk. Now you know that they don't like that. Listen, anytime that you mention the name of Jesus, people are going to come for you. And so before you do it, and this is my advice to people, I'm not saying that he's saying too much because I think you need to stand in it if you really believe in it. But let me tell you something. The minute that you say, look, I said something and I stand on that before anything. And they want me to change my stance and I refuse. I am a Jesus lover for the general public. you got to say you're a Christian, right? That's what they understand because they don't understand the word of God. If you say you love Jesus and you stand on it and you say that you focus on God first because that's the first decision that you can really make for yourself. You can't control what color you are. You can't control what gender you are, but you can pick for yourself of whether or not you actually believe in Jesus or not. They hate that. It is a very, very, very offensive word to the devil. It's an offensive word to the devil. Shout out to Jelly Roll for standing in it. I like that, bro. I like that. Surprised they still got that on the internet. Sade with the dub. What? I like that name. I don't think I've ever actually met anybody in real life named Sade with the W. Good morning, AD sending love from Houston, Texas. So glad I found your platform. Detroit has some real gems. My blessings to you and your family. Grammys are just something to do at this point. Shout out to you. Thank you, my friend, and thank you for sending blessings my way. Shout out to Sade. I think that's the first time I've seen a super chat from you. Welcome to the show. AR is back, says, is O'Shea all right? Dude makes a video on you like every hour. Is getting cringy, dog. I don't know. I don't watch him. The only time that I'm familiar with the fact that somebody did a video is when y'all tell me. Y'all gotta listen. I'm gonna say it again. Shout out to AR. I know you love me. I know you always hold me down. I know y'all continue to show me love. But I'm going to be absolutely honest and transparent with you guys. The only time that I am familiar with whatever it is that people are saying or doing at this point is when you guys tell me. You don't have to tell me. Let me stay focused. Because I don't want to get distracted. I don't want to start, getting into all of that other stuff. So I'm focused. February is focus month. So we focus on the bag chasers. We focus on stock club. We focus on block club. We focus on running up a bag. We focus on continuing to do what we do until we set another trap in place. And we're going to get to that later. But for right now, we got to make sure that we continue to run up a bag. It's wintertime. Wintertime grind. We don't get distracted by nothing that nobody else has got going on. I don't watch nothing. I don't see nothing. Only thing I get familiar with is when y'all send it to me. Shout out to TS Car Wash and Detail Service says, you love that Folded song? I don't know how it goes. How does it go? TS Car Wash and Detail Service says, look at the NBA East versus West reserves. All right, we'll check it out tomorrow during after hours. Aaron Lucas says, we get too much access to celebrities, which has dimmed their light. Remember when there was a mystic around them and we actually cared about talent? Yeah, I think that actually plays a role also. That probably plays a role also. All right, let me see what else is going on in the street. So we got the Grammys and hold on, let me see. Obviously, we got the Epstein interview, so we're going to check that out in a second. Sha'Carri Richardson. I haven't talked about that on the Millionaire Morning Show because they was trying to overtalk me on after hours. Let me see what we can find about Sha'Carri when she got arrested. I heard it was something else. I heard her boyfriend actually pulled up too. Let me see something.
Potentially.
You're flashing them to get out of your way, are you? Let's give you a path to get past them. See what you do.
He must got like a super stealthy car. Because there's a bunch of cars that's passing him up. I've always thought that when you've seen a police car, most people kind of try to go the same pace or a little bit before, or they try to get behind a police car unless you're super confident or you're just not paying attention. But it looked like here A lot of people are passing up this police car. That truck is so sweet.
$100, $101, passing the car at $101, $103, $104.
But see, this is what I'm wondering. When we look at that radar right there, does the radar also, because I'm not familiar, so somebody in the chat, y'all let me know. Does the radar also take into account how fast you're going? Because you seen how he took off. Does the radar also take into account how fast you're going, or does it only clock the speed of the person regardless of how fast you're driving? Y'all saying yes, it does. It doesn't need to. Pretty good technology.
County motor 50, copy 1050. Gonna be 429 northbound.
Green number is a cop speed.
Florida tag.
She's still flying in.
On a gray Aston Martin. No,
That's crazy. That's
I would wipe that smile off your face. I'm Sergeant McDaniels with the Orange County Sheriff's Office. You're being stopped for dangerous, excessive speeding.
I understand my tire at the back is like literally on 29.
So you're driving at 100. Hold on. You're driving at 104 miles an hour in a 65 mile an hour zone with subpar equipment, flashing people to get out of your lights, out of your lane, following too close, using every lane to pass everybody, cutting me off, passing a car on the inside shoulder with their hazard lights on. You're going to jail for dangerous, excessive speeding.
I'm so sorry. I did not mean to do that. My phone, I didn't even know my car was speeding.
That's why they give you a speedometer.
I totally understand. I communicate with you, sir. I really do not want to go to jail.
No, most people don't, but you got to think about that before you do the speed. I need your license, your registration, and your insurance. You were speeding.
I was, and I totally didn't know. If you look at my phone, my buttons right here.
Listen, here's the biggest thing. The minute that they say you going to jail and there's nothing you can do about it, stop talking. Especially if you're a public figure. But even if you're not a public figure, at that point, it's no point. Just stop talking. You got the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be provided for you. You just be quiet at that point. They don't care. They're not going to relent. When the body cam footage come out, it's just going to make you seem like more of a fool. And then you're just going to get yourself in trouble even more. At that point, it don't matter. Listen, this is the conclusion that I've come to. And she's still young. She's still in her 20s. She's still trying to figure out. And that's why I always like to give grace to people like this or whatever. Because if you're not committing a major crime, and I know that there's some people say, oh, man, if you speak, you could kill somebody. And I get it. Yep, I get that too. I'm still growing. Give me some grace too. But this is what I know for sure. Once I get my lawyer on it, it doesn't matter anymore. Whatever it was that you thought that you could, you know what the beautiful thing about living in this country at this point now? I'm going to tell you one thing that liberals have done. And I know y'all not going to see it this way, but think about this for a second. You know what I realized as I watched these protests, and we're going to get to the protesters, them destroying Los Angeles and all across the United States of America. You know what I realized is that y'all have advocated against the police so much Y'all have advocated for reform so much. Y'all have advocated for diversity, equity, and inclusion to let us out of jail and all of that stuff so much that if you have any level of resources whatsoever, it's easy. What you gonna do? Okay, so you're gonna take me to jail, and it's gonna be a $500 bond. I'll be out in an hour. I won't even get locked up. No matter what I did, unless it's drunk driving or I literally killed somebody, vehicular manslaughter or something like that, I will be. It doesn't matter. If you tow my car, I'll get it out tomorrow. Okay, so the tow truck company is going to overcharge you. They're going to charge you for 2 days instead of one, even though you got it in less than 24 hours. And I'll have my car out tomorrow. Correct. It's E-Love. It's going to be a cool story to tell. Max. Okay, so you took me to jail. I won't even be behind bars. I'll be bonded out. I'll give it to my lawyer. He'll go before the judge. He's going to argue to release me with no points and to give me a fine. I know that the system is so fucked up that all they're going to ask me to do is to pay more money because it really is just a racket for them to get money out of us. And so total, between my lawyer and getting this thing done, it's going to cost me less than $1,000 and I'll be out. Now, I know that that's a big deal to some people because everybody don't just have $1,000. But here's the key. If you don't have $1,000, then don't do the crime. If you do have $1,000, then you can take a little bit more of a risk. But the justice system is not built for people to go to jail. It's built for people, for the system to make money so that they can keep their police officers in police department. So it doesn't matter. All of this arguing and going back and forth, once he say you're going to jail, all right, cool. That's just the truth. This is the I'm keeping it 100 with y'all. This is the truth. It doesn't matter. There's nothing you're going to do that is going to change anything. And that's the one thing that I say that liberals have. In a way, they messed up the country because the criminals can get away. But in the other ways, like, man, they still got fine. These fines ain't even keeping up with the rate of inflation. A speeding ticket nowadays ain't even kept up with the rate of inflation. A 0 to 5, a 1 to 5 over, a 6 to 10, all of that junk is negligent. It don't even matter, bro. It's costing me more money to waste my time for you to arrest me for an hour than for you to just give me the ticket. Give me double the ticket, I'll pay it.
Here, they jump around. My phone is sitting here.
And if you got a decent enough lawyer, it's not even going to hit your record. So the next time you get pulled over, they're going to say, how's your driving record? Perfect. Man, you ain't did nothing since 2008. I know. And I don't mean that you ain't never got a ticket, but it just means that if you got a decent lawyer, then they're going to say, okay, listen, we can give you the fine. We're going to reduce the ticket. We're going to reduce the points. It's not going to affect your insurance. It's not going to affect your driving record. And it's basically like it's expunged. It never even happened. They just want some money. So she should have just been quiet at this point.
They don't care. I literally see it's not even in normal mode, and I see that my apologies. Please, I communicate.
The mode has nothing to do with your gas pedal.
No.
I need your license, your registration, and your insurance.
Sir, I really want to work. Can you really work with me, sir? I promise you, I am a law-abiding citizen. I have my ID, my X-rays on my phone. There was no intention of me speaking today. I promise you, sir.
Is this a good address for you, Lake Valley Drive?
Yes, sir.
You said, bro, she was doing over $100. Gervonta Davis literally just got arrested for beating up on a chick, and he bonded out. Let me see how much Gervonta Davis' bond was. He bonded out for $8,500. They tried to make it seem like he was on a run. He probably just had some business to take care of before he turned himself in to get arrested. And usually when they issue, listen. When they issue you a bond, all you got to do most of the time is pay 10%. So, for example, if they issue you a $10,000 bond, which apparently Gervonta Davis's bond was $8,500, you paying 10%. You only paying $850. Fa Brown, this ain't about being rich. This is just understanding the law. Oh, she was doing over 100. Man, a good lawyer will wipe that clean all day long. This is why I tell people all the time, listen, this is the truth and people don't want to talk about it. This is why you got to get your money up. Bro, you have to get your money up. You have to get your money up. When you get your money up, life circumstances for people that don't have resources is just a suggestion. Now, I know that people going to get offended by that and say all of this. No, I'm trying to get you some motivation. You need to tap into the Patreon. You need to make sure that you tapped into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. We're going to show you how to get your money up. I just had a stock club. People are telling you it's rave reviews. It's awesome. I take you from point A to point B. I break it down like a C student. Nobody should not be getting their money up at this point based off of what we talking about in the Patreon. Somebody said, Anton, my homie just got booked for street racing and had to pay out AK. You're street racing, not speeding. And he had to pay out AK, right? Did he do any jail time? Did he do any jail time? Nobody said it wasn't going to cost you money. I said that you got to get your money up. I don't really understand what y'all... Are y'all listening? What was his priors? Did he have a good lawyer? Did he get a lawyer at all? It's a lot of other context that goes in that. And usually, let me tell y'all something else what happens. When people say they homeboy, that means them. Either they're lying or it's them. Because everybody knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. And usually the person that tell a story embellish a little bit. So they're going to add a couple. Man, it was really only 3,000. But man, it was like 8,000. 8,000, bruh. Hey, my homeboy said it. He said that he had to pay 20,000. Man, it's okay to know what you're not talking about. Bro, do you even know what my life has been like? Do you even know? These niggas don't know nothing.
Sir, please work with me. I promise you.
I don't know what work with you means.
Not work with me. I understand that. I will take the ticket. I will show the
No,
court.
like I told you, you're going to jail.
Please don't allow me to go in. Please, sir, please.
Listen to me.
Please, sir. I really...
If nothing you say is going to change that. You are going to jail.
Sir, am I going to jail, Jake?
Yes.
Sir, I really was not intentionally speeding at
That's
all.
even more scary.
Sir,
that means that you're doing things unintentionally on a task that requires all your attention.
Sir, please, I'm begging you.
You are going to have a little bit of time to make some phone calls. You are going to jail. I am towing your car.
Please, sir, don't take me to jail. I will do everything.
No.
I will do everything.
You have two options.
Listen. Sir, please.
Listen, you have two options.
The more she talked, the more she just continued to bury herself. And then I didn't see the footage or any additional footage. Are y'all familiar with her boyfriend? It said her boyfriend pulled up and then he wound up getting arrested because they searched his car too. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me read some more of these super chats. TS Car Washing Detail Services. Why, when people first get money, never get a business advisor? Because especially if you don't know how to invest. Listen, bro, it takes time for you to evolve and for you to familiarize yourself with people that's in your circle, or to gain a new circle so that you can actually understand what's going on. You got to understand this. The reason why this show exists is because it's a lot of people that don't know. So let's just say, for example, you come from the hood, you don't know anything, you ain't never really read a book on it, you don't know nothing about advising, investing, and everything you know is just based off of what people post on Instagram. How do you know? How do you know? You don't know what you don't know. And so that's why it's important for you to continue to level up your resources and your network, because your network are the people that are going to give you the insight on how you can then run up a bag or how you can preserve your wealth, because you don't know what you don't know. You see what I'm saying? Like it's easy for us to say it because we're looking at it from a lens because we know. But when you first start getting money, you don't know nothing about that. All you know is, yo, I got some money. And it feel good to have money and not be broke. You see what I'm saying? So you just don't know what you don't know. Eric TV says, I hope Shad Bianca wins the governor, flip Cali red. Cam Conversation says, curious, have you studied any other religion? No. When you say study, I take that to mean actually reading their word, reading their doctrine, reading what it is that they do and all of that stuff. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Never. Under no circumstances would I. I'm not interested in studying any other religion. I feel like it's too much for me to learn with all of the stuff that I've read, and I've read the Bible back and forth tons of times. It's too much that I'm still into as far as trying to understand the word of God. It's so deep. You know what I'm saying? It's so vast. And your understanding of it changes as you continue to evolve as a Christian. Why would I ever put any effort into studying something that doesn't serve me? I'm not interested in anything other than the word of God and other than Jesus. The only thing I want to do is get deeper into God. That's it. That's it. The only thing I want to do is get deeper and deeper and deeper into what it is that I'm already into. I don't need nothing else. I don't want anything else. I don't have a curiosity for anything else. Let me ask you a question. Let's say, for example, you got a girl and her home, and you a good man to her, right? Let's look at it from a different lens. You got a girl and you a good man to her. Now, when you met her, she was a virgin and you got married to her and y'all had children together and you guys are doing just great. She ain't never been with nobody else. She ain't never had no alternative lifestyle or anything like that. And then a new friend comes into her life and said, have you ever been with any other men? What would you expect for her to say? Now, if she really a good girl and if you really down with her, then she gonna say, oh no, I ain't interested in seeing nothing that nobody else got going on. Because guess what? You know what's out there? Diseases, alternative lifestyle, death. Why would she want to expose herself to the devil? So when people ask me, have you deep dived into another religion? The answer is going to be definitively no. Because why would I cheat on Jesus? Why would I cheat on, he calls the bride, his church, his bride. He calls his church his bride. So why would I pervert myself and then make myself available for everybody to abuse me only to come back and say, hey, I was out in the streets and I know better now, but I want to come back to you. Because now I'm looking for grace and I'm not looking for direction. And so right now I'm in a space to where I'm looking for direction. How can I serve you? Not how can I be saved? You see what I'm saying? I don't need to backslide. The only thing I need to do is stay focused on what it is that I already got going on. For some things in life, you don't have to suffer in the same way that everybody else does in order for you to know that you got it good. That's all I'm saying. Good question, though. Good question. I like that question, Cam Conversations. Notorious Pop says, thanks for reminding me to subscribe to the Patreon. Long-time subscriber. Looking forward to working with you on future properties in Gary, Indiana. I like Gary. I don't know. I got a soft spot in my heart for Gary. Shout out to Notorious Pops. If y'all not a part of the Patreon, make sure y'all tap in. Maurice Manhattan in the building says she didn't notice him because he's in an unmarked Mustang 5.0. TS Car Wash and Detail Service says tow truck companies is a ripoff, talking about not our price because it's police towing. Stop the cap. That's a fact. That's a fact. It is a ripoff. T. Salih says, hate to say it here, but I feel like everything around me is crashing. My business, my relationship, my housing, with my newborn son. For the first time in my life, I feel aimless. I need your wisdom. I don't know enough about your story. I don't have the capacity today to speak with you. I'm not even sure that I'm going to have the capacity until maybe like Saturday. All right. So I'll probably take some calls on Saturday. Send me an email. I don't want to speak on it until I learn more about your story. Tisa Lee, send me an email right now and I'll earmark you, big dog. All right. Keon Bell says some folks are too broke to be criminals. Facts. TS Car Wash and Detail Service says, so first, get the bag, run through it, but also betting on a second bag, but it never comes. What route should they go then? You should never bet on a second bag. You should just continue to work on manifesting and building yourself up. When you first get money, when you first start to really get money, you got to still kind of act like you broke because you're not even really sure that you got money yet. You know what I'm saying? Aaron Lucas says, so how did you choose to be a Christian versus the others? I was raised in a church and it wasn't a choice for me. I think that some people's lives are ordained. Listen, there are some people, and this is just my belief, and I could give you some more examples of how I know that God is real and how I know that I'm doing the right thing, but this is not the conversation for it. I'll say this, though. I believe that there are some people that are ordained to do certain things. The calling on their life is too great. The prophecy that came before I got here is too great. The word of God says that who we are and what we are called to be was destined to be before the formation of the earth. And so if you really believe that, then you won't question why you then found yourself at the mercy and then saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost. And so that's why I call myself a saint. I don't call myself just a Christian. For optics and purposes to be able to communicate with people on the internet, I'll say Christian. But in reality, we're saints when we truly believe on every piece of what the word says. And so if I truly believe that my calling and where I am today right now was always predestined before the formation of the earth, then that means that I never had a choice in the first place. So it wasn't my choice. God chose me before I ever was born on this earth. You understand what I'm saying? So some people think that they got a choice. That's the illusion of a choice. And some of you may even have a choice. But for me, in my life, I never had a choice. This was always what I was going to do. This was always predestined for me. And so I'm just basically walking in the footsteps that God has already laid out for me. Does that make sense for you, or is that not what you was expecting? Y'all asking a lot of questions about spirituality today. Don't get me in my spiritual bag. Now, this is what I do off camera. All right? Don't get me in my spiritual. I'm only answering these questions because y'all asking them. Tavi says God still allows for you to choose. Not everybody. Not everybody. That's not everybody. For some people, you're going to go before the fight or after the fight, but you're still going to go and you're going to execute on what his will is. Not everybody. That's not everybody's calling. Let's go over to the next part of the show. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. The ATL Flipper says, that's true, Anton. You don't have to study other religions to know Christianity is true. Just like a banker doesn't have to study counterfeit money to know what real money looks like and feels like. Shout out to the ATL flippers. I like that. I like that. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Oh, let me answer this one. This is in all caps. All caps. What? Let me ask y'all a question. Why do y'all type in all caps? You do know that that's supposed to mean that you're yelling. It's like exclaiming something, right? I don't know if y'all know what internet etiquette is, but you don't have to write in all caps. I could see it just fine in regular. As a matter of fact, I could see it in regular better than I can all caps. When y'all write in all caps and you don't put periods, commas, exclamation points, all of that, then you have to, like, it's difficult. It's more difficult for it to read, but I'm going to entertain it. Bro, you over here talking about yourself like you were king, bro. You know that ain't Christian-like at all. Talking about everything was predestined. Man, get out of here. Listen. Tell me that you don't know the word of God without telling me that you don't know the word of God. I'm going to go ahead and show this to y'all. All right. And I don't even, hold on. Let me do this real quick. Hold on. Because a lot of people don't know anything about predestination, but it's okay. So these are verses on predestination, because I know a lot of people are not familiar with the word, but you could literally even Google this. You don't even have to be a scholar. Okay. This goes based off of predestinations. Ephesians 1, having predestined us unto the adoption of children by Jesus Christ himself, according to the good pleasure of his will. Ephesians 1:11, and whom also we have obtained an inheritance, being predestined according to the purpose of him who worketh all things after the counsel of his own will. Romans 8:29, for whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Romans 8:30, moreover, he did predestinate them. He also called, and to whom he called, he also justified. For whom he justified, for them he also glorified. It goes into, and it's a bunch of other conversations about predestination inside of the word of God. So if you want to, you can also go and look it up for yourself. But you should probably stop typing in caps, because you're loud and you're wrong. Okay? You're loud and you're wrong. And I am a king. And if you had any sense, you would actually understand and walk in your kingship also. But you choose to be a pauper, and you choose to subject yourself to the word and the will of man. And you choose to be amongst a bunch of people that don't give a fuck about you and think that just because you fake humble, that is going to serve you on earth, and it doesn't. And your kingship means that you are a servant leader. It was one of the greatest things and the greatest feats that Jesus did. That's why he washed his disciples' feet. Let me see. What else are we talking about today? Let's go into Epstein. Let's go into Epstein. I want to get into this Jeffrey Epstein conversation. Let me see what's happening. Epstein. Let's share this one.
Survivors calling on 2 New York judges to provide emergency relief and shut down the Epstein Files website immediately after a number of them had their identities exposed. Writing, DOJ committed what may be the single most egregious violation of victim privacy in one day in United States history. DOJ officials say they work to correct any mistakes when they become known.
Every time we hear from a victim or their lawyer that they believe that their name was not properly redacted, we immediately rectify that.
But the emergency request includes this quote from a person whose name has never been divulged before, saying, I've never come forward. I'm now being harassed by the media and others. This is devastating to my life. The documents also raising serious questions about why Jeffrey Epstein was given such leniency after investigators initially uncovered potentially breathtaking criminal activity.
It is just this incredible, deep.
What do you mean why he was given such leniency? Because he had his tentacles in everything. He had his tentacles in banking, donations. Listen, bro, when you spend money the way that Jeffrey Epstein was spending money, and when you have leverage the way that he had leverage, you do realize that all of these systems are being upheld by people, right? Whether you're talking about a judge, whether you're talking about a politician, whether you're talking about a prosecutor, if you're talking about a banking system, they're all being upheld by people. And guess what people are? Fallible.
Visceral level of frustration and disappointment and sadness and grief.
Released for the first time, the original prosecution memo from a DOJ lawyer in the U.S. Attorney's Office.
I think that what we going to wind up doing on Tuesday, Slimmy going to like this. Slimmy, Molly, all of them. We going to talk only about Jeffrey Epstein on Tuesday. On After Hours on Tuesday, we're going to have 6 segments dedicated specifically to Epstein.
Office in Miami in 2007, showing that federal authorities had uncovered evidence pointing to the broad scale and depravity of Epstein's molestation and exploitation of girls and young women. According to the memo, FBI agents discovered that Epstein arranged for massage appointments for girls and women ranging in age from 14 to 23 years old, with victims receiving a finder's fee of $200 if they recruited other girls.
But here's the thing, though, Slimmy. Y'all want to have a real conversation right now, or y'all want to pretend? Y'all want me to go off on Epstein and Bill Clinton and Bill Gates, all of the bills, the different people that's labeled in it and stuff like that. Do y'all want me to get into it for real? Or y'all want me to sit here and just act like, oh my God, I'm so surprised and all of this stuff? Y'all want me to deep dive? I don't think I have the time to deep dive. I told y'all I got a flight to catch. But I'm going to give y'all my initial thoughts, all right? Because I'm going to save a lot of what I have to say, because I'm going to debate my ass off on Tuesday. I'm going to show y'all what debating looks like. Here's the thing. Let's read this for a second. It says, Epstein arranged for massage appointments for girls and women ranging in age from 14 to 23 years old. How is this any different from the niggas that be in my chat that's trying to tell me that the legal age for a woman to talk to is based off of whatever country that you in or whatever state that you go to? Because I remember vividly, regularly, and the live streams are still up, guys arguing me down. The only difference between Jeffrey Epstein and the nigga that you know right up the street is that Epstein had money, power, and influence. They all still think the same. He just had the money to really be able to take off and do it. I see niggas every day. Stop acting fake, outraged. Stop acting like you care. Stop acting like you give a fuck. Stop acting like you really checking for these little girls. Y'all not. You're not. You're not. I see, oh no, I'm not defending it. I think that this, listen, I'm the person that said that I don't like age gap relationships. I think it's egregious. I think it's disrespectful. I argued that these niggas was creeps that want to look at a 17, 16, 18-year-old and y'all trying to justify it by saying, well, the law says, no. I was the person that argued on behalf of these victims, these girls, these young girls as victims every single day. But guess what? It be the main ones that's sitting there that's talking big shit. Those are the dudes that like your daughter and your sons. Jeffrey Epstein did it on the island. You go up to the high school. I thought that was normal in our culture. nowadays. Jeffrey Epstein goes to the island. You went up to the high school. You remember Mrs. KP? You remember? Oh, now I'm crazy. Now I'm crazy. But see, there's people in here that's been following me for a long time. And I remember we was on Monday night and we was arguing with a dude, and the dude got pissed. He got absolutely angry at me and he was going off. Oh man, I might have to go and find that video. He was going off. That might have been when the show was on the Anton Daniels channel. I'm not even sure that was on Room 9. But he was going off. And he was absolutely angry at me because I would not justify that it's based off of what the law is or if it's legal or should you go in another country or none of that stuff. And he was pissed. He was angry. And I'm telling you that it is a lot of people, a whole lot. Y'all ain't never watched To Catch a Predator? It was niggas from all walks of life. Old, young, black, white, Haitian, Filipino, rich, old, good job, own their business, regular worker, weirdo, regular looking guy. They would all come over there with condoms and a keg of beer. Hey, what's going on? They had wives. They were single. They records, everything. They got a doctor. Bro, it was a prosecutor on there. They from all walks of life. All walks of life. Listen, Blue Heat. I see you took them caps off that bitch though. Now you still need to add some punctuation in there, but I see you took them caps off. You getting there? We gonna get you there. And you are the main one that's talking big shit, but sit here and see that Trump is trying his best to keep his name and face out of it and relax his face and image, but you won't say nothing about that. What you want me to say? Y'all want me to be your savior? How about you start a platform and you speak on the things that's meaningful to you about the Trump administration? Shit, everybody else have over the last 3 weeks. You want me to be your daddy? Hey, daddy, go get that man. He beat me up at school. I see you took them caps off that motherfucker, so I know you listening now, right? Let me get back to the point at hand. The point that I'm making is that the people that often at times call the loudest are usually the ones that are participating in the activity. And they do it as a deflection and defense mechanism.
For girls and women ranging in age
I
from
know when I
14 to
put
23.
this up, people gonna be feeling some type of way.
Oh, Anton, I can't believe you said that.
Calm down, cowgirl. If it don't apply to you, if it's not something that hurts you, if you're not one of the people that like little kids, then you don't have anything to worry about.
3 years old, with victims receiving a finder's fee of $200 if they recruited other girls. The memo goes on to warn that Epstein represented a continued danger to the community based on his continued enticement of underage girls. Federal prosecutors initially wanted to charge Epstein with at least 60 felony counts, but in the end, Epstein was offered a deal where he served only 13 months of an 18-month prison sentence on Florida state charges, even allowed to work in his office during weekdays. President Trump's name comes up thousands of times in the Epstein files, mostly in news articles, but also in emails written by Epstein himself. The newly released files also include records of unverified tips to investigators, including some uncorroborated information pertaining to Trump and other high-profile individuals. The two men had a falling out, and the president says he cut off contact with Epstein decades ago. DOJ officials have said the allegations regarding President Trump are false and do not come from credible sources. The new documents are also placing even more scrutiny on men who we've known spent time with Epstein. Among the thousands of new photos released, these never-before-seen images of...
Nigga, these images is crazy, bro. Some of these images that I'm starting to see, because anybody can be named, right? A name could pop up as a result of somebody talking about you in an email. A name could pop up as a result of somebody talking about you as far as the campaign that you're about to run, and they don't like you coming from, running for president. A name is just a name, but the pictures, it's kind of like, remember when we was talking about Gervonta Davis, right, last week? And when we was talking about Gervonta Davis last week, we always say innocent until proven guilty, right? But when you start to see the actual video, because then I support innocent until proven guilty, right? But God damn it, when you actually see people in pictures, that's a whole different conversation. When we actually seen the footage of Gervonta Davis grabbing a chick up, get your ass over here. It was like, all right, hold on. Even with Diddy, right? We wasn't tripping off of Diddy with the initial accusation. When Cassie was suing for $30 million, I was like, man, this chick she's a clout chaser or whatever. When that hotel footage came out, niggas was like, crucifying. Get him. I even had to take a step back for a minute and was like, wait a minute. Am I giving a little too much grace or should I believe all women? They started to program me for a second. I rethought my position on some of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? When you actually see some pictures of a dude touching an underage girl, it hit different. It hit different. Anybody could say anything. Oh, yeah, whatever. When you start to get that visual image, Ray Ricin and all of that stuff, it's a different conversation.
Former Prince Andrew, who was stripped of his royal titles last year over his relationship with Epstein. Now seen here, crossed over a young woman.
That looked crazy. That looked crazy. What kind of foolishness is this? Yo, listen, bro. Listen, nigga, that looked crazy. That looked crazy, bro.
Her face redacted, the date and context of the interaction unclear. Representatives for Andrew have not responded to a request for comment, but now the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer is calling for Andrew to testify before Congress. Epstein.
It's another picture that I had seen. Hold on, let me see something if I can find it. Man. It was one photo where a dude was standing up with a chick and he had on some tighty whities. I don't know what video that was, but it was a dude that was in his tighty whities. I don't know if y'all seen that as a part of the photos. It was a dude in his tighty whities that was standing next to a young girl. And I was like, dog, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Anyways, neither here nor there. The point that I'm making is that this whole world is demonic, bro. This whole world is demonic, if you ask me. And Nah, he had on tighty whities, bro. He had on his tighty whities, man. And I was like, what kind of junk is that? What kind of nonsense is this? It was just crazy. It's just crazy what's happening out here in these streets, bro. He also did an interview. Hold on, let me pull up this interview. This junk is disgusting, bro. But it was like an hour and some change. It was almost 2 hours long. What the fuck is Vlad doing? Hold on. What kind of nonsense is this? What? Hey, hold on. Why did Vlad release it like it was his interview? He put chapters in it and everything. Oh, come on, Vlad. Come on, man. Really? Darren says, Anton, I swear I would unfollow you if you say Trump is your president and you support him. Trump is my president and I support him. Have a nice life, my nigga. So if you unfollow me, that means you shouldn't be typing in the chat no more, because the only way that you can type in the chat is if you actually subscribe to the channel. All right? I can't believe that Vlad actually... somebody said, I wish I would have thought of that. I would never put an interview of Jeffrey Epstein on any of my channels. Under no circumstance. Listen, let me tell you something, bro. Let me tell you something. When it comes to children, I don't know if y'all don't get it. I don't know if y'all don't understand this. When it comes to children and messing around with children, I just can't, bro. I can't. And listen, I know that if that's his hustle, I'm not going to knock it or whatever. I can't speak to anybody else. When it comes to children, that's just a line. That's a line. That's always going to be a line. Kids are just off limits. Under no circumstances do we actually take real victims in real life or victimize people as far as children in real life and try to capitalize off that. I can't, bro. I just can't do it, man. I can't, bro. I can't, because they can't defend themselves. You know what I'm saying? They can't. See, I thought you said you was going to subscribe. Don't worry about it. We'll go ahead and put you out of your misery. Anyways, in an interview, at the end of this interview,
It's so.
guess I gotta change my account.
Before we get into the deep stuff,
I seen a clip in the interview towards the end of it where he was speaking about somebody asked him if he was the devil. That's the part that I want to get to.
Institutions of higher learning, and when I said was vegetable juice.
let's go back.
Look what vegetable juice does.
When did that? The beginning of that, was there any one aha moment in all these great thinkers? Did it happen before 2008? Was it after? That came up over, I know, many years, but when did you actually realize, hey, something new's got to be developed?
Yeah, that's great. Is that because again, I'm privileged enough to have people around me who've given lots of philanthropic gifts to institutions of higher learning, and when I said the impact, how do you judge the impact of your giving? And we sat down and said, no really new ideas have come out. And I realized that, of course, it hasn't come out because we've been looking at using science and mathematics, and it's the wrong tool. It's obvious.
Institutions that are set up and try to put forward knowledge and understanding and truth, should they take your money?
Derek Bach at Harvard said, taking money for good causes is a good thing.
So if Hitler took all the gold out of the teeth of the Jews and said, I want to give this to Heidelberg University to fund the Leibniz chairs so that I can study high energy physics, Derek Bach would say that was fine?
Again, it's these questions are questions where good people on both sides, like your Charlottesville, could differ. I don't know the answer to this question.
So tell us the two. Give us the two answers. What the one answer why it shouldn't be, and then the one answer. Derek Bach says, "I'll essentially take cash from anybody because I got so many projects, so many good guys, and this is the way I'll do it. So I'm indifferent to where the cash comes from. Money's money, and if I got good guys, I'm the fiduciary. Says these are good people and this is good research. Okay, I'll take the cash from any source, including you." What's the other argument?
Let me give you that. I know in my case,
is your money dirty money?
If you live,
I just asked a question. Is your money dirty money?
I hate when interviewers try to insert themselves into it because then it turns into an interrogation instead of an interview. And you'll probably get more information and more thought out of him if you allow for him to actually answer the question. He'll probably hang himself. He'll probably say something that's incriminating. Who knows? But when you ask a question, and I need people to learn how to interview more effectively, it's not about you. It's about the person that you're having a conversation with. Every time he asks him a question, and when Jeffrey Epstein goes to answer the question, he starts to jump in front of him in order to try to get him in a aha gotcha mode. Let him answer the question.
No, it's not. So, in fact,
why is it not dirty money?
Because I earned it.
But you earned it.
I earned it legally.
We went back to this before. You earned
Yes.
it. You earned it advising the worst people in the world, right? That do enormous bad things, and just to make more money.
So, instead of asking me the question, should you take the money? Because I think it's a legitimate question.
Do you think it's a legitimate question?
Yes, no
Why?
question. Because I think ethics is always a complicated subject, but I can tell you that with the money I gave to help try to eradicate polio in Pakistan and India, instead of asking me whether that money should be given to these children for vaccines, I think you might want to ask their mothers who received the vaccine, who know their child now won't get polio, and ask them if Epstein should have helped these people.
If we walked in, you're a mathematician. We walked into that clinic where they're giving that money out to these people that are in the most dire straits of poverty and sickness, and told them that the money was coming from class 3 sexual predator?
Tier 1.
What's tier 1's the highest and worst?
No,
I'm the lowest.
I'm the lowest.
You're the lowest. Okay, tier 1, you're the lowest. But a criminal.
Yes.
That the money came from them. What percentage of people do you estimate? I understand you don't like probabilities. Do you estimate would say, I don't care, I want the money for my children?
I would say everyone said, I want the money for my children.
Did they know?
That's a hell of a question. That's a hell of a question, and I'm not sure that most people are ready to have a conversation based about or is ready to have. That's a heck of a question. How many people would be willing to take money, ill-gotten gains, or money from people that are evil for whatever reason? It don't even have to be because you're doing it to solve for your children's life. How many people would actually take the money from people that you disagree with? Shar, I don't agree. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. KPZ, I don't believe you. Respectfully, I don't believe you. I think for every 100 people, maybe one wouldn't take it. Maybe one. Nicholson has said, I can't, fam. It's all selective activism. It's all selective propositioning and all of this. You know what's so funny? The very devices that you guys are watching this live stream on right now probably was manufactured, developed, and or sold. The companies that they were started from were developed from people that you absolutely hate and despise, and you probably thought differently about them and their politics, but you're still doing it. You're still using it. Microsoft employs hundreds of thousands of people across the globe. How many of them are going to quit their job because they don't agree with the fact that he's in the Epstein files? I'm just wondering. How many of y'all say free such and such after they've sold drugs to the community? How many of y'all would actually take a turkey from a dope boy or a dope dealer after he comes back and he gives to the community? How many of y'all go play the lottery? How many of y'all take handout money from the government? I'm just asking the questions because I want people to think a little bit deeper than on the surface. And it's a lot of people that turn their eyes and they close their eyes and they pretend like they don't know what's going on because they don't want to be accountable and they don't want to answer to the idea that they absolutely support some of the worst people on earth. We herald, we champion drug dealers, rappers, people that kill people. Shit, I seen Max B get out of jail and have a whole coming home party. And most of the people that was at his, and I'm not saying that he shouldn't because he served his time and all of that. But what we celebrate is all I'm saying, because I like Max B's music. But what we celebrate on a regular basis is contradictory to what we say that we actually don't like and what we don't support. And no, most people don't even know what he went to jail for. Nigga, if R. Kelly got out of jail today, the concerts will be sold out worldwide. If Kels got out of jail today, every stadium in the United States of America would be going up on a Tuesday. So I don't believe you. I don't. Listen, it's better to be honest and real than to be performative for people to pretend like you actually standing on something. And it's not wrong for you to be honest. It's not wrong for you to keep it 100. It's not wrong for you to keep it real. It's not wrong. Because we all just want to have a conversation and figure out what this looks like. That's all I'm saying. I don't think that he is saying anything that people wouldn't do on a regular basis. 100%. People sell out and sell their souls every single day. Every day. Every day. I don't believe it. I just don't believe people. If he got out right now, Kels could go platinum in a day. He can go platinum right now. Y'all was just telling me, Anton, you got to go check out Chris Brown's new remix with R. Kelly on it. That's what you just said. That's literally what y'all just said. I don't think that is selling their soul, but I'm saying that people outside of that sell their souls every single day. Every single day, 100%. I don't think that taking donation money from a vaccine that would then cure your polio or something, because I believe that a lot of people actually believe that they're doing the right thing. Look at this. Look at this person. Look, they defending him right now. Jamila says, free Robert Kelly now. His case was corrupt. No children was involved. Nigga, everybody and their mama seen that nigga pissing on them kids. In the first case that he said that it wasn't him in the videotape. Nigga, what you talking about? He was with Aaliyah. He was with Aaliyah. Nigga, we ain't forgot. See, I'm of a certain age. I actually remember. All I'm saying is let's just keep it 100. Let's keep it 100. We like to separate the artists from who they are in real life and their crimes. We like to separate it in order to be able to justify it for ourselves. But you can't. Here's my thing. You cannot be hypocritical and only do it when it's applicable to one person that you don't like. We pick and choose. We say, oh, I don't like him. And I think he named in the Epstein files. Oh, man, crucify him. Free R. Kelly. You can't have it both ways. We're going to do it anyway as people because that's just who we are. But I'm telling you that most people are hypocritical. That's just who we are in our nature. We're hypocritical people.
Where the money came from?
I think if you told him, if I told him the devil, 100%. The devil himself said, I'm going to exchange some dollars for your child's life.
Do you think you're the devil himself?
No, but I do have a good mirror.
It's a serious question. Do you think you're the devil himself?
I don't know.
Like his handlers were saying, come on.
Why would you say that?
See how he looked up?
Do you think you're the devil himself?
See how he looked up?
I don't know. Why would you say that?
Because you have all the attributes. You're incredibly smart. You remember the devil is somebody knows the devil's brilliant. You read Milton's Paradise Lost.
The devil scares me.
Satan is at the number 1 or 2 archangel. And the reason he goes to hell and leads the rebellion is because he can't be the top guy. And his thing is, I'd rather reign in hell than serve in heaven.
I saw that in a movie once called American Dharma. I don't remember who said it. Okay, we have to go.
I do not think that as horrific and as horrendous as he is, I don't think that he's the devil, because the devil can't get caught this easily, can he? I think that maybe he was a demon, and I think that there are a lot of demonic people on this earth, but to give him the credit and to say that he's the devil and he was easily be able to take down like this, nah. I think that there's a lot of demonic people on this earth, but I don't think that I think that the devil was a lot. There are people that has done a lot more egregious things that we know of. That said, that's walking around every single day. Yeah, facts. You can't have handlers and be the devil. The devil is the handler, right? You can't have handlers. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I believe that there's a lot of people that are hypocritical. And it has to be a cleanse, man. It just really has to be a cleanse. At some point, we all just have to take a stand against what we think is right and what we think is wrong, and just go from there. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me see what else y'all talking about out here in these streets. Do you believe God gave you the platform to draw men closer to him? Will you ever fully submit to your call? You can't deny the call. Is that for me? Do you believe God gave you the platform to draw men closer to him? Will you ever fully submit to your call? What is my call? What exactly is my call? What is it there to fully submit to? I want to know what do you think my call is? Because I know what my call is, but I want to know what you think my call is. Cam Conversation says we'll do an interview at some point in life. Shout out to you. Salamander says Andrew will say he was doing CPR. He ain't gonna say nothing. He's not going to say anything. Change the narrative says, what up, though, AD? I got that divorce filed. Now I'm on my way to ATL to perform at a showcase. Well, Ray Daniels, God is good. Oh, I know who Ray Daniels is. Ray Daniels is the music executive producer. He be on all the platforms doing music reviews and stuff like that. If you get a chance to check me out for a music review, God bless you, brother. Shout out to my dog, Change the Narratives. Latrell says, I found a video you were talking about. It was on 8/14 on the Anton Daniels channel when I was arguing with the dude that liked the young girls. And there was so many people that was actually in support of this dude. Brian the Filmmaker says, we're living in a modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. 305 Trailblazer says, I place mostly all of these Dusties, entertainers, YouTubers, in the do not recommend list. These roaches are jealous because you tripled their subscriber count while some are still struggling before below the 500K subs. 305, listen, do you know what a STEMI pack does? A STEMI pack is to get people going. It's to get them off their butts. It's to get them back going or whatever. And I've seen a lot of people, thousands and literally thousands of videos that was made about me, right? But here's the thing. What do when you have to go back to actually talking about stuff and giving your own thoughts? What do you do when you have to start giving your own thoughts? Platinum Elite King. Here's what I'm always wondering before I read these things. First of all, ladies, if you see a guy that types you on all caps, that's a red flag. All right? That is a red flag. If you see a person that don't have a profile picture that type in all caps, that is a red flag. Platinum Elite King says, why you not a real ninja thou? You not the Detroit ninjas I be with. You a simp thou. And he put 1, 2, 3, 4 commas, 2 periods, 1 semicolon. That's true. I'm not the Detroit type of person that you be with. I agree with you. And you're right. I'm not a real ninja. I agree with you. Thank you for the super chat too. Texas James C says, we see the girl on the floor, but what's going on behind them on the table? You see a lady spread out on the table, or am I tripping? I don't even want to rewatch it. I don't even want to look at the I don't hang out with slow people. Georgia, but I do appreciate the super chat. Giorgio Let's Go says it depends on the amount. Lyric the Gamer says, I heard Abby from CNN was forced to admit that Trump wasn't a part of the Epstein files. Brock says, everybody gonna be singing Ignition from the Hill. Girl, please let me stick my key in your ignition, babe. The devil is not welcome here. The devil is not welcome here, says Obi-Wan the homie. Shout out to Obi-Wan the homie. If my niece is dying, I'm saving her. They lying. I'm glad that you being real, Leno. Shout out to you. Mr. Lot. You know how niggas start to get money? You know how I know that people are starting to get a lot of money? Because they don't even say nothing in their super chat. They just be sending money. Salute. Mr. Lot, thank you for holding me down, bro. Yeah. Mr. Lot, thank you, bro. Thank you for holding me down. I appreciate you, big dog. Let me see what else we talking about. See, we moving it along. If I operated like this on a regular basis, y'all would be nicer to me. 1, 2 Epsteins. 3, 4. Trump named a new Fed chair, Nike layoffs, Nashville, ICE protests. Let's talk about. Y'all said y'all like the derailment. Well, here's the problem, Trill Mercy, is that I actually got to catch a flight today, so I don't have the capacity to derail y'all today. You know what I'm saying? I'm limited in my derailments. I got a little bit of time, though. Just a little bit of time. I heard that Nick Shirley went to Cali. I heard that. Marty Slice says these fools have king in their name and they trying to tell people but are no fruits or results. Love you, AD. Don't always agree, but that's life. Chasers. Shout out to the Chasers. But you know what's so beautiful, Marty? Is that I'm cool with people that don't always agree with me. That's why I rock with you. That's why I rock with the Bag Chasers, is because it's not about always agreeing. It's about being real and authentic, and it's about having a conversation so we can continue to run it up. By the time y'all see me tonight, I'm going to be in a different state, in a different place, live streaming on a Monday night show, running it up. All right? Let's see what we got here.
Country music star John Rich is going on 6 days without power. He joins us from Nashville, and obviously I know that you and your family are okay, but it is uncomfortable, and you have 80,000 people like yourselves still out of power in the area.
Yeah, so it's 80,000, 90,000 houses, so it's a lot more than 80,000 people. And what's really interesting is it's pretty much localized to Davidson County, which is the county Nashville resides in. All the counties around Davidson County are doing much better than Davidson County. And so we've been asking ourselves as citizens who are, out of power for 6 days, what's the difference? We found out Nashville Electric Service, their CEO, Teresa Boyles, last year cut $7.5 million out of the budget to trim the trees. So Tennessee covered in trees. Dane, I know you come here a lot. And so instead of NES trimming our trees, God decided to trim our trees with an ice storm. And so now you have trees laying all over the place. And there's a lot of people actually seriously in harm's way right now. We've got single digit temperatures hitting over the weekend, and houses have been without power now for 6 days. So you know what that means. It is dire, and there's so many neighbors that reached out to me. We've been running our chainsaws, helping people every which way we can. But this is an incompetence on a level kind of like what you saw in California when they didn't have enough water to put out the fires.
I was just thinking that because
I didn't even know that the electric company or the power company over in Nashville was ran by a female CEO. I think she definitely needs to be held accountable, but we also need to hold the mayor accountable, and you also need to hold the governor accountable of Tennessee. I don't care if it's a red state. I don't care if it's ran by Republicans. We have to hold people accountable, because if you are in a situation where people are without power for over a week, and I've even seen different people that say that they are telling them to project themselves to be without power all the way up until mid-February, like February 9th through the 15th. It is in no way, shape, or form okay for there to be 80,000 people still without power in Nashville. And let me tell you the difference between Nashville and Michigan, or Tennessee and Michigan. In Michigan, we're prepared for these type of things and we're used to it. So even the way that we build our houses, or the way that we add generators and stuff like that, the way that they salt the streets and the snow plows and the trucks, we different because we're used to the winters where we're going to get storms and ice storms and all of this stuff. The people over in Nashville are not prepared for this type of thing. So usually what happens in these situations is this, right? There's usually declared some sort of, by the governor, because you got to remember, in all of these 50 states, they're basically their own domain, and the mayor talks to the governor, and the mayor works directly in hand with the governor, and they call out linemen, and then they figure out how to pay it through either the state budget or some combination of the state budget along with the utility companies. But in the most part, the utility companies are the ones that pay for extra linemen to come from out of town in order to get all of the power lines back working, get the trees cut and all of that. And I'm going to add another point into this too. Ladies, go listen to the women talking in Nashville. Why is it important for you to listen to the women talking in Nashville? Because we need to stop all of this conversation about y'all thinking that y'all could actually survive on your own. I have seen conversations of women say stuff like, we could live in a utopia without men and all of this stuff. Okay, cool. Well, what happens when you get an ice storm and you need linemen to go and get that shit back up and running? We need each other. That's the skinny. Women do awesome things that's not meant for men, and men do awesome things that's not meant for women. We need each other. That's really what it comes down to. All of this, oh, we don't need men and all of that. Okay, go talk to the women that's been sitting in the cold for the last 7 days, 8 days, with kerosene heaters about to blow their house up. Don't have nowhere to stay. Calling the churches so that the churches could possibly pay for a hotel room for them for the night and just living day to day, check to check, person to person, situation to situation. Go talk to them. The women in Nashville are sitting there like, good God, what is going on? There are people that are overwhelmed. I wouldn't even listen. I wouldn't. And here's a bigger thing. This is not really being covered extensively by the national news. They're more focused on the Epstein files. They're more focused on all of this other type of stuff. They're not covering this thing, right? So the governor not catching the heat that they need. The mayor is not catching the heat that they need. You got 80,000 people that's out of power, and their houses is cold, and then sometimes the temperatures drop to the single digits. This is crazy, bro. Look at that.
If you don't do the maintenance in the times when the weather is good, then when the weather gets bad, you could have a situation like this. So what are the crews dealing with? They have to figure out a way to pick up the trees before they can get the power lines back up?
Yeah, so I want to give a shout out to our linemen because they're not the problem. They're out doing everything they can. Yeah, they got to get the trees up, and then they got to get the lines back up. The trees are the big issue. We have a mayor here in Nashville, a hardcore leftist guy, Freddie O'Connell, and they've decided they're not going to do any interviews or any press conferences through the weekend, Dana, as the temperatures go down to 4 and 5 degrees here in Nashville. And I've just reminded a lot of my Democrat friends, which I have Democrat friends, you'd be surprised. I said, well, you get what you vote for here in Nashville. Maybe next time you guys put some people in office that actually think ahead and don't raise your taxes by 40% and then can't cut the trees. That's it's very California, honestly, what we're dealing with.
I'm sorry, I'm muted. I'm sorry, I'm over here having a meltdown. I didn't know that Tennessee's mayor or Nashville's mayor was a Democrat. I didn't know that. I didn't know that the mayor of. So you telling me that Nashville is liberal? Oh. I didn't realize it until he said it. So then I had to start doing some deep dive, and I said, wait a minute. I know Tennessee is Republican. I know Tennessee is Republican for a fact. And then I said, okay, well, wait a minute. Let me do some research because he said this is maybe y'all should stop voting liberal. And I said, wait a minute, what do you mean stop voting liberal? What do you mean stop voting liberal? How is Nashville? Have y'all ever been to Nashville? Nashville has some of the best Texas toast, some of the best barbecue, and the best live music I ever heard in my entire life. Yes, yes, it did. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Really, really good food, drinks. Vanderbilt down there, right in the downtown area, and I tell you, the bar was different. It was different because when you went around and you go to the back of the bar, and you can all of them are interconnected, and you don't even have to leave out of the bar to go to the next bar and you take your drink with you. Nashville, I didn't know that Nashville was liberal. Oh no! When I was down there, I stayed at the Gaylord Opera, and it's different. I went got a lot of music. I was going to a lot of music. God damn it, it's different down there. And everybody in Nashville is like Hollywood for country singers. They're everywhere. Everybody is talented. Everybody talented down there in Nashville. And y'all over there voting in a Democrat mayor. No wonder your city is towed down. No wonder. No wonder. No wonder y'all cities is toe up from the flow up. Got the whole city toe up. Only reason I even learned about Nashville is because I was listening to the people that was sending me videos. They said, Anton, you got to bring visibility to this.
8 without power here in Nashville, and I thought I would share this letter from Metro Town Council to the Nashville Electric Service. It says, "Dear members of the board of Nashville Electric Service, many Nashvillians have been without power for over 120 hours. They sent this yesterday. There will be a time to figure out what went wrong and why we weren't ready with shelter plans, communication, and resources. Right now, the most pressing issue in my mind, aside from making sure people have food and heat, is to get information on when power will be restored. We were supposed to have a council briefing this morning at 9:30 a.m., a briefing that candidly should have occurred on day one. It should have. We just received word that it was moved to Monday, so that's tomorrow. They put it off another day. I'm out of patience. Nashville is suffering, and I can't stand by and watch. People have died. People are dying, which is true. People have died from carbon monoxide poisoning in their homes, from trying to heat their house, and people have died from the cold temperatures. It's been below freezing for over a week now, and so people are literally freezing. I'm calling for the immediate release of a restoration timeline to all NES customers, stakeholders, and government officials, which they have now. They just posted it yesterday.
This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy.
This road in Nashville was impassable due to huge logs, trees, and branches in the middle of the road. National Guardsmen are working to clear roads throughout Nashville after a major winter storm swept through the region. It's Thursday, January 29th. 90,000 Nashville Electric Service customers are still without power, many of them almost 6 days into this major outage. Progress is painstaking for line workers who are essentially going house to house to clear trees away from lines and replace needed equipment to get service back up and running. I spoke to a National Guardsman who said she'd never seen damages quite this bad from a winter storm. Damage over here is particularly bad because of all of the mature, tall trees causing blockages in the road. And
it's messed up. So we got to bring visibility to what's going on in Nashville. It's negligence, in my opinion, on the part of the officials over in Nashville, and they need to be held accountable. Of the Democrat mayor, let me look at who this person is. Freddie O'Connell. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's liberal, nice and liberal. What made y'all vote in Freddie? Why would y'all do this? Who voted in Freddie O'Connell? I can't believe y'all. Y'all voted in Fast Freddie? Let me see something. Freddie O'Connell.
billionaires and bachelorettes, or us? I'm Freddie O'Connell, the only candidate for mayor to vote against the stadium deal. Tourists and outsiders are getting all the wins. Let's build a Nashville for Nashvillians again. With expanded childcare, housing we can afford, and transit that works. For our community, I never take my eye off the ball.
Why did y'all vote this guy in here? How is he any different from Tim Walz? How is he any different from Karen Bass? How is he any different from Jacob Frey? All of these liberal mayors, they the same. They look the same. They act the same. They weirdos. They call themselves aliens and whatever. Minnesotians, Nashvillians, Los Angelians. They all the same. They all the fucking same. They all negligent, incompetent, stupid. And as soon as a natural disaster hit, you see who they really are and what they made of. And instead of them putting money towards the three things that I say that they need to do the most: public safety, infrastructure, education. Public safety, infrastructure, education. Those are the things that people want to focus on. They don't want to be overtaxed for child care for all and all of this other dumb stuff. This is why y'all fucked up. This is why y'all messed up. Nashvillians from all, we ain't seen them say nothing, hear nothing, say nothing, do nothing, nothing.
Right now, we're being joined live by Nashville Mayor Freddie O'Connell. Mayor O'Connell, good morning, and thank you for taking the time to join us this morning. Kind of set the scene for us. What have you been hearing from crews and first responders about the biggest challenges right now in Davidson County?
Yeah, what we're hearing from crews and first responders is just like what I've been hearing around our house all morning, which is the cracks of trees splitting and large.
Yeah, incompetent at best. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me see what's happening. What time do I board, though? Do I got time for one more? I should be able to get off one more at least. All right, let's continue on with the show. I should be able to get off at least one more. At least one more. Let's see what we're going to talk about. Trump names a new Fed chair. We can get to that tomorrow. Supporters turn on Zohran Mamdani. That's a good one.
That's right. We know about your mom. Now listen, we was with you, Zohran. We voted for you, Zohran. We advocated for you, Zohran. We advocated for you. You ain't getting up and get up in there and lie to us. You lied, Zohran. Shame, Zohran. Shame. Shame. The first time was 6 feet, Zohran.
It's the mayor's mansion in New York. Yo, listen. The people are already starting to turn on Zohran Mamdani. And what I don't know what they mad about his mama for, but I'll tell you this. All of that socialism, all of this stuff. Guess what? Guess what he's not doing? Guess what he's not doing? He's no longer living amongst the people. He's no longer living amongst the people. See, listen, all of that talk that y'all be having going on, that all sounds cute. It's all cute and dandy and cuddly when you're running. I'm a person of the people. I've never had a job before in my life. I believe in socialism for all. Until he start getting that salary. Get that big dog salary. How much did the mayor of New York make? Mayor, New York, salary. And they get free housing? Oh, shit. So he make $250,000. So he's guaranteed to make $1 million over the next 4 years, and free housing, and free, so he don't have to spend no money on nothing. That's living. That's living. He gonna make $250,000 a year. He gets to live for free at Gracie Mansion to the tune of the taxpayers. And he gets security. And he get all of the other stuff. Mom Donnie's mom is in the Epstein files? Is that what y'all saying? I don't believe y'all. Let me find out why they protesting. Let me see what's happening with the people. I don't believe that. I don't believe it.
Shame! Y'all think they're the final say, so Ron? Shame!
Why would his mom be an Epstein? Let me see something. Mom Donnie's mom Epstein. Why would his mom be in the Epstein files? Mother of New York Mayor Zoran Mamdani, filmmaker Mira Nair attended a party hosted by convicted sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell, according to the just released trove of documents linked to the deceased serial abuser Jeffrey Epstein. Personally, you're not going to convince me that he's deceased at all, so I'm not going for that, but let's continue. Nair's name was on an email sent by publicist Peggy Siegel to the late pedo Epstein about an after party in 2009 for the film Amelia, which Nair had directed. The email alleges no wrongdoing and simply records attendance. That's his mother. Justice Department published over 3 million pages that was signed into law by Donald Trump. A tranche of documents include 2,000 videos, 180,000 images, making the total production nearly 3.5 million pages released. Appearance of Nair's name does not suggest any wrongdoing, but does show the scope of celebrities named in the documents. Epstein died, blah, blah, blah. Nair's name released Friday. Email sent by the publicist. Describe how she had left Maxwell's townhouse following an after party for the film. I don't really understand why this is a problem. The email does not allege wrongdoing and only records attendance at the event. Nair directed Amelia, released in 2009, starring Hilary Swank as an aviator. Email said the film got a tepid reaction, but women liked it a lot more. Hilary Swank, Richard Gere at a stupid party in Bloomingdale's cheap sportswear department. Very weird. Studio went for a free party from store windows a month, going to be in Wall Street 2 tomorrow. More to come. What's the problem? All right, listen. I don't like Mom Donnie like everybody else. I don't like Zoran Mamdani like anybody else. But I think we're reaching at this point. And so people that are protesting outside of the Gracie Mansion, I don't think that Zoran Mamdani is a real socialist. I think he's living a high life. I think he got a taste of a good life. And just because you went to an after party for a film premiere does not mean, and believe me when I tell you, I don't like Mamdani more than just as much, if not more than anybody else. But just to say that somebody is in a file of over 3 million documents, come on, family. Come on, y'all. Look, man, I'm going to be objective. I know y'all looking for me to nail him on a cross because I'm a Republican and because I don't care for Mamdani. Yes, I know his mom's name is in the file, but she only in the files because they named her in an email or in documentation as being a part of an attendance for a party, for an after party. I'm trying to figure out, why do y'all think that warrants a protest? Anybody could be at an after party. Anybody can go to an event. Anybody could be sent name inside of an email or something like that. Come on, family. Come on, y'all. Come on. Like, if you're going to go after somebody, or if you're going to get somebody, then get somebody for real. Don't get them on some, like, seemingly supporters of Mamdani, seemingly outside of Gracie Mansion and the residents of New York City, man.
Material. It includes references to Donald Trump, among other notable and powerful men. Joining me live now is CNN reporter Julia Benbrook. Julia, wow, getting through this is going to take some time, and this is not the end of the Epstein files either.
A lot of documents here. This is the largest release that we've seen, more than 3 million.
Google the pictures when he was a kid. So y'all trying to say that Zohran Mamdani is Epstein's child? Man, y'all okay, listen, y'all stretch Armstrong today. I don't know what's got into y'all. I don't know why y'all so gung-ho about this. So y'all will sit there and go based off of a picture when they're young to try to determine whether or not. Why do y'all do this? Let me tell you what happens when y'all do this without real evidence, without something that's real. When you manufacture a lie, it actually shields you and it takes away from the truth. So anything that y'all can go after them about on the truth, it takes away from it because you're so focused on the lie. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to get somebody, or if you're going to get him removed as mayor, then get him removed from something based off of something that's real. But like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all pushing it. And so what happens is it shows your bias, and it shows that you're emotional. And when you're emotional, you can't see the truth. Anything is possible and anything is impossible. That doesn't mean anything. Listen, man, we acting like a bunch of schoolgirls. We acting like a bunch of bitches right now, bro. I don't like that, man. I don't like that. Anybody can jump on a megaphone and protest in front of your crib, and then all of a sudden that makes them credible? Come on, man. Stop, bro. Stop. I'm not going to participate in this foolishness. I'm not going to participate in this witch hunt. Until there is more information and evidence that says otherwise, then I'm not doing this, bro. I'm not doing this. We got to stop acting like little girls, bro. Every little rumor that somebody says, all of a sudden that makes it true. Come on, man. Grow up. Grow up. Grow up. That doesn't make it true. It doesn't mean that it's real. And we have to start going based off of real information instead of this BS, bro. Honestly, look at this. Put Zohran and them side by side. Come on, man. Stop, bro. Y'all making me regret doing another subject. Just because people protest don't mean anything. You take away from the things that's actually meaningful. And this is the perfect quote right here. It says, right, don't act like the Dems and the libs. We can't be them. We can't be them. We got to be authentically us. We can't act like them. We can't get emotional like them. We can't be, you know what I'm saying, all in this, oh, man, but what if? Put the pictures side by side, man. Come on, man. We operate in truth and we operate in realness. We have real conversations over here. We don't do all of that theory bullshit. We don't do conspiracy theories as much as it can be profitable, As much as we gotta move based off of evidence. You know what I'm saying? And the reason that that's necessary is because that's what women do, bro. Women operate out of their emotions to make accusations about things that's not true. I don't do that. Even when I'm beefing with somebody to the highest, I never, ever, ever, you will never, ever find me doing this. You will never, ever find me accusing somebody of doing something that they didn't do. You know why? Because it takes away from when the truth actually hit. When you actually get the real, then it's like, oh, and I don't give a fuck about what they say about me. I mean, you know, all that do is make me bigger, because rumors is just that. It actually enhances your celebrity. It makes you infamous, and it makes people want to tune in more. So that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can say anything. But when it comes to how I'm going to move, when it comes to the people that I don't care for, I actually want the truth. I actually want to find out what's really going on, so that when I get you, I got you. Until then, I don't believe in anybody being accused in a court of public opinion and that being the end of the conversation when it comes to real, serious charges. Real, serious charges. I'm talking about real stuff, not this celebrity little bullshit. Real, serious charges in real life. I don't believe in convicting people in a court of public opinion. So we got to keep it 100, bro. I'm not about to go after this dude just because he's a socialist and he got voted as a Democrat to the mayor of New York City. I don't like him just as much as I don't like you, but I'm not going to jeopardize my integrity as a person that talk authentically about the things that I talk about just because y'all want a conspiracy theory. Nope. At all. All right. When it comes to real life stuff, like that people can go to jail for and stuff, come on, man. We got to stop that. Ain't no playing with that. We don't play with jail. We don't play with none of that shit, bro. Let me see what y'all talking about in the chat with y'all crazy selves before I go catch this flight. He talked about Melania Trump got a movie out. I haven't seen it, but I did see Markiplier's movie hitting, killing it. Shout out to the independent filmmakers and creators that put their own money up, market it with their own money, and keeping 100% of the profit. That's how you run it up. Eric TV says, hi, AD. What up, Eric? Platinum Elite King says, you called the police, you scared though. Wear a dress and pay for help, sucker ninja. Hey, man, who let these niggas out? Y'all let them get out? Bro, where your mama at, man? Your mama let you get a hold of her phone again? She let you get a hold of her Obama phone again? Hey man, y'all gotta stop letting these base heads out the house, bro. Where your father at, bro? Not gonna keep on talking to y'all and entertaining this foolishness, man. Where your daddy at, bro? Niggas is crazy. Using all of your mama's super chat money. You know that account is tied to her credit card. Using all of her money. Boy, if you don't get your Self-Made Forever says same thing with, and thank you for the super chat. Thank you for your mama's money. Same thing with Jacksonville, Florida Electric Company, female CEO and makes $700,000 a year, more than a president's salary. Shout out to Self-Made Forever. Oh, you just gonna use all your mama money. I'll take it. Fuck it. Ninjas got you in a twist. Pull up on a channel that will challenge you, sucker. Thank you. Mr. DE, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I appreciate you for the 2-ball, my friend. I wanted to highlight this one right here. Chase the Alpha. Let me ask a question to the audience, because I'm trying to figure out, I'm planning on the different cities that I'm gonna be hitting. All right, because I'm about to be hitting the people. When the weather break and the spring come, I'm coming to y'all cities. I'm going on tour. This is gonna be like Guy Fieri, Diners, Burgers, and Drives. Diners, something and Drives. I forgot what the name of that is. Who has the best barbecue? Who got the best? Somebody said St. Louis. I'm going to St. Louis. Why I got to read the super chat like that? Because he crazy. Best barbecue is in Texas or Memphis. Chase the Alpha says it's in Memphis. Texas, Fox Bros and ATL. Memphis barbecue sucks. Come to Minneapolis. I got to wait till it calmed down over there. North Carolina. Charlotte was the best. Y'all naming everywhere. All right, I'm going to talk about this on After Hours tonight. That's going to be my question. Daniels always learning says many men will be a king under the king of Jesus. Freddie looks like Pretty. Shout out to you, Wesley Turner. Keeping up 8150 says child care is their code word for money laundering. Facts. We need to abandon that. Chris Monroe STL says New York mayor has gotten trash services fulfilled, snow shoveled, and much more failing fast. Excellent show. AD in the bag chases us up. Make sure y'all tap into the best time to join the Patreon is the beginning of the month. All right. We got a live stream coming up Wednesday. Oh man, I gotta give y'all the juice. I might have to get some behind the scenes footage for this interview that I gotta do this Wednesday. We'll see. What up, Chris Monroe? Broccoli Brock says, my dog Brock says pass love offering is definitely a reach. Wesley Turner says, 80, did you cover Virginia's governor raising taxes on everything after being elected to tackle affordability? All of them is going to raise taxes. Leno says, conspiracy theories ruin 2 generations of black folks. Facts. Daniela says, devil would create chaos in any way to be a fake savior. It's true too. Let me double check something before I head to the Rita and Leslie on a flight. Let me double check something before we get up out of here. All right, we good. We good. All right, y'all. I love you. I appreciate you. You said Anton, your name probably in them Epstein files too. Use a lie, and the truth ain't in you. Use a lie, because I don't even like these niggas. You'll never see me at a party with them. I don't like none of these people. That's the one thing about being a lone wolf, is that in most instances, unless you got something nice with you, it ain't nothing for us to talk about. You know what I'm saying? I'm on it. I'm checking my email. I'm about to be on a plane. I got that good Wi-Fi, that Delta Wi-Fi. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon link. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. T Genly, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm coming to San Antonio first. I'm out. Till tonight. Q show tonight on Room 9.